The lower receiver is the foundation of your AR build. And if you're not running an Ambi lower in 2025, what are you doing? Thing is that Ambi lowers are very expensive. You know, you think about Radian, ADM, LMT, those are all extremely expensive when compared to a standard mil-spec lower. But I think one company has really gotten it right. And I think that they blend quality, features, and price point. And you get a really awesome value with the Griffin Armament MK2 Ambi lower. So it is no secret that I really like Ambi lowers. I love my ADM UIC lower that I use on the 14.5-inch build. But I also like to save a dollar where I can. And that's where this Griffin Armament MK2 lower comes in. It has literally the exact same controls as the ADM. We're gonna go over this lower because I think that it is a really, really good value. But before we do, YouTube is demonetizing all of my videos now. So you could really, really help me out by liking, commenting, and subscribing, because when they demonetize a video, not only does that mean that I can't make any money off it, but it also means that it limits that video's visibility. And so by liking, commenting, and subscribing, you're like tricking the algorithm into showing the video to more people, and I really appreciate that. Because even if I can't make a dime off a video, I still want to spread Second Amendment stuff. And so if you could help me with that, I really would appreciate it. But back to the MK2 from Griffin Armament. So Griffin Armament, a little bit of a story here, and I'm not 100% sure exactly on the details, but Griffin Armament and ADM at one point had some kind of an arrangement. They worked on the design of the ADM UIC Ambi lower together. I'm not really sure whose side is correct, but they split ways apparently, and then Griffin Armament came out with their own Ambi lower, and it's pretty much the same design. Now, it doesn't have the fancy machining that the ADM has on the magwell, but a lot of people don't want that anyway. They want a lower that looks standard mil-spec, that is forged and not billet. But they want those Ambi features, and this lower does that for you. And I love Ambi lowers. Ambi lowers are not only for left-handed people. Now, I am left-handed, but I shoot right-handed. And the thing is that an Ambi lower is a great thing for a right-handed shooter. Now, we're gonna loosen the sling here a little bit just to show this, but if you are a right-handed shooter and you want to lock your bolt to the rear, well, you could do this whole, weird thing where you hold it here and then pull your charging handle back. And, we've been doing that for years with ARs, and it works fine. But this is a lot easier. You're shooting, you need to lock your bolt to the rear. You just push up with your trigger finger and pull the charging handle back, and your firing hand never leaves your firing grip. And then when you want to drop the bolt, you load a fresh magazine in. Again, trigger finger to drop the bolt, and then you're right back on the trigger. It is very fast, and it's very intuitive, and I absolutely love it. And then besides that, you have an Ambi mag release as well. Now the Ambi mag release, I think, is obviously perfect for left-handed shooters, being that it is in the same place as your standard mag release button over here. If you're left-handed, you've got your mag release right where you would expect it to be. And so that is a huge help to left-handed shooters. But even right-handed shooters, I find myself all the time using my thumb on this side and pulling the magazine out. And so if you can have these extra features, why not have them? Especially if it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Now this is not a cheap lower either, but it's about half the price of a Radian or an ADM or an LMT. This video is sponsored by Aura. The Griffin MK2 is a very good value for an Ambi lower, but Aura is a very good value for your online security. And there's no better time to think about your online security than right after tax season when everybody just shared a lot of their sensitive information online. Data leaks do happen, and they happen with big companies, somebody like H&R Block or TurboTax. And so you might as well protect yourself, especially for how cheap it is to get Aura. It's only 12 bucks a month. And you get all of your online security. But if you use my link, first link in the description and in the pinned comment, aura.com/sawtoothtactical, you get to try it out for 2 weeks, 14 days, absolutely free to see if you want to continue to use it or not. And if you do, I mean, even in those first 14 days, they will go online all over the internet. They will scour the dark web. They'll find anywhere where your data, your personal information has been leaked, and they'll submit opt-out requests with all of the data brokers that are selling your information to scammers and spammers and other bad actors, and they'll get you off of all those lists. They did it for me over a year ago, and I don't get scam calls anymore. I don't get spam calls anymore. It's really, really sweet, to be quite honest. Besides that, you get antivirus software. You get spam and junk mail removal. You get a VPN so you could browse the internet safely and anonymously. You get a password manager. You get home title monitoring, parental controls. You get all of this stuff, all packaged in a nifty, easy to use app for only $12 a month. But again, try it out absolutely free for 14 days, 2 weeks, if you use my link, aura.com/sawtoothtactical. And this video isn't sponsored by Griffin Armament. Griffin Armament hasn't paid me a dime, hasn't even paid me a penny. They don't even know I'm making this video. They probably don't even know I exist. I just really like their lower and thought it was worth making a video about. So like I said in the beginning of the video, the lower receiver is the foundation for your build. And it only makes sense to start with a good quality lower receiver. And again, I really like Ambi lowers. Now, we're going to go over the Ambi controls on this real quick one more time, just while we're up close. You know, right here, you have your standard mag release button. But then you also have another one on the other side. That's pretty sweet. And then you also have your regular ping pong paddle here for your bolt release, bolt catch, bolt release. And as you can see how it works, on the other side is where you've got the Ambi version. Bolt catch, push down for bolt release. And it is very, very smooth and totally solid. And I like this better than a lot of the other Ambi designs. For one, because it's a bolt catch and bolt release. A lot of them just have a button to release the bolt, but no way to catch the bolt. And then there's Radian with their ADAC system where, you know, your mag release is also a bolt catch. But we're not talking about that here. We're talking about the Griffin. I really like the way this is designed because it's easy to get to with your regular firing grip. Push up to lock your bolt back, push down to drop it. There's no other ping pong paddle here. There's no button to push. It's just this simple, easy to use lever. And you're not gonna, I mean, it's very obvious when you're using this, which one is the mag release and which one is the lever for your bolt catch or bolt release because you don't have two buttons here. I also like that they have good solid fencing around your mag release. And on the other side, they do as well. See this right here? That is what protects your Ambi mag release from being hit when your rifle is slung. This sits, you know, flush underneath actually this. And so even if something is hitting the side of your rifle, it will not drop your mag unless you want it to. But when you do want it to, push that and it works very smooth, very easy, unlike some other Ambi mag releases. I also do just like the fact that the regular ping pong paddle for your bolt catch and release here is nice and big, easy to get to as well. Although I gotta admit, I do find myself using this side most of the time because I have it, so might as well, right? Now the Griffin Armament lower does come more stripped than like an ADM. I have both of them. The ADM came with, you know, takedown pins. It came with a mag release installed. This one did not, but because of that, you get to pick which ones you want. So as you can see here, I've got a Geisley mag catch there, and I've got a forward controls design mag release button. I believe these were Geisley takedown pins. I've got a Geisley trigger, a Radian Ambi safety in it. You know, pick exactly the parts that you want and build it out the way that you want. But you start with something really good. And when I say really good, it is really good. It's forged, not billet. It looks very close to mill spec, just Ambi. I really love that it has an actual flared magwell. And I mean, you can see that. It is a nice funnel for your magazines. It's not ridiculous. It's not huge. It's just enough, doing it behind the camera, to make it easy when you need to. I use this Mark 18 under night vision all the time. Being able to change your mags in the dark without being able to see your rifle is very important under night vision. You know, you can really only focus it at one distance and you don't focus it right in front of you at your rifle. And I've never had a problem doing a mag change with this in the dark under night vision. The flared magwell there works very, very well. Here you can see the inside of it. I mean, it is totally solid. This is a fantastic lower, and I can't recommend it enough because it has all of the Ambi features that I want, that you probably want, but at a fraction of the cost of the other quality Ambi lower manufacturers. On your next build, if you haven't yet, try an Ambi lower. It doesn't have to be the Griffin Mark II. I just think that this one is the best value. Like I said, it was about half the price of the ADM, and it has the exact same controls. I love the ADM, don't get me wrong. I just think that Griffin comes in at a better value, and I love what Griffin Armament is doing. They make amazing suppressors. They just make a lot of good stuff. And so far, the only product of theirs that I own is the Mark II Ambi lower, but I am very impressed with it. The quality is there, the fit and finish is there. Everything was in spec, all the parts, you know, installed perfectly. They're all tight, but they're not like too tight, if you know what I mean. When you've built out a lot of lowers, you know, you kind of see those variances from manufacturer to manufacturer. I mean, this lower is absolutely as good as it gets, as good as any high quality lower that I've used. And, you know, it mates up perfectly with my Daniel Defense Mark 18 upper here. And I think it's perfect for this build. So Mark 18 has a very specific aesthetic, right? And when I built out my Mark 18, I wanted to have that aesthetic, but I wanted the Ambi features. Now the ADM is amazing looking for this Gucci'd up 14.5-inch Dream rifle build that I did. But I didn't want a Gucci looking lower for the Mark 18. I wanted a mil-spec looking lower, but I wanted the Ambi features. And you get that with the Griffin Armament. And I just love that I can lock the bolt back that easy and drop it that easy. When doing a reload, it is really nice just to be able to throw your mag in, trigger finger goes to the bolt, and then, you know, you're right on. It's just easy. And yes, of course, you can do it the old-fashioned way. That works perfectly fine. But if you can have the Ambi features, why not have them? Especially when they come in at a reasonable price. And that's the biggest thing to me. There are a lot of good Ambi lowers on the market. I mean, there's a handful of them. I wouldn't say a lot. But, you know, a lot of companies, again, a handful of companies are making Ambi lowers now. And some of them are really good. But those really good ones are very, very expensive. And to start your build off with a lower that's, you know, $400, you know, that takes a good chunk of money just for the lower receiver. And I know that a lot of people look at it and they go, you know, I can get a mil-spec lower for less than $100. Which, I mean, that's debatable depending what kind of quality you're going for. But if you can get an Ambi lower for around $200, sometimes cheaper. I've seen them on sale recently, I think for $189. Sometimes they have blem deals. I mean, you're getting into like the price range of just a quality mil-spec non-ambi lower at that point. But you're getting all the ambi features. You're getting the flared mag well. You're getting just good QC, good fit and finish. I know I keep saying like I only have good things to say about this lower, and I really do. I loved the ADM lower that much when I got it, that I wanted the similar thing, and when I found out about this Griffin lower, I bought it, and it has been the perfect lower for my Mark 18 build, and I see myself using the Griffin Mark II lower on many future builds. But let me know in the comments, what is your favorite ambi lower? Or do you just think that ambi lowers are totally stupid and unnecessary? I'd love to hear from you either way. Most people that have experience with ambi lowers understand why you would want them. And they're not just for left-handed people. Again, I am left-handed, but I shoot right-handed. And so I use the ambi lower as a right-handed shooter. And that's my favorite thing right there. Being able to lock the bolt back and drop it with my trigger finger. It ends up becoming something that you really like, and then you miss it when you use non-ambi mil-spec lowers. So if you've been wanting to try out an ambi lower, but you've been having a hard time justifying the price of a Radian or an LMT or an ADM, Griffin Armament is a really good option. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.